the steps of creating your typography in a face. Just to remind you, when you're going to look up the face that you're looking for. So I'm just going to type in just the name of someone, right? And so when we go to images, please be sure to go to Tools, Size, Large, and then pick out the face that you'd like. Once you click on the image, drag that image into your folder. I'm going to drag it onto my desktop just to show you. Once that's done, I'm going to open up Photoshop. From there, I'd like you to go to New File. Once you go to New File, you're going to go to Print, Tabloid Size. You can make it vertical or horizontal. That's 11 by 17 inches at a 300 resolution, and you're going to hit Create. Once that's done, you're going to grab that photograph and drag it directly into the white page. Most of you have done this in class already with me, but this is just to show you the project from the very beginning. We're going to resize this now. So we're going to make it a bit larger, and I'm going to position it on the page. Once I've done that, I'm going to hit the checkbox. We must make sure that in the Layers panel, we're going to copy this layer. So we take the first layer, we copy it. So the original one gets locked and hidden. This one will be brought down in opacity to about 50 or so, and that will also be locked. And then you are going to take your zoom tool or your magnifying glass and zoom into about 200% or so, and then you can move around till you get to any portion of the face. Remember, you're only doing half the face for this project. Once you've done that, you're going to select the horizontal type tool. If you click and hold on the T, you'll see all of those options there. You're going to use the top one, horizontal type tool. Before you click anything, make sure at the very top here, it shows you the T for the text horizontal type tool. You're going to click on this right next to it, which is your list of fonts. I want you to pick a thick and wide font. Those are the best for this project. So most of you have Impact as your font, but as long as it's a thick font, I don't care which one you pick. Also make sure it is bold or regular at least, but Impact, like I said, IMPACT at the top. Okay, so once you have that, only other option really at the top, size-wise, I want you to start at a 36. Okay, and then color, we're going to keep it black right now at the top here. You can really choose any color you want because we're going to have the original colors pop through later, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to choose black for now. So option number one is I click one time. And you notice when I click one time, up comes this fake font. I want to type in a word. So this is part of the guy's name, so I'm going to type that in. Now once I type it in, you'll see the cursor still blinking here on the side. I can click and drag over it, and I can change what it says. When it's highlighted like this, you can change what it says. You'll notice that the layer itself has a big letter T on it. That means it's still a text layer, indicating that I can still change what it says. But if you go to Window and you go down to Character, you're going to see a little window pop up. And this window here now allows you to control a lot of what's typed when you use that horizontal type text tool. So I can change the font on this list here, same as I did at the top. I can change the size, same as I did at the top. I could also click on these, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So right about here, I can click and pull to drag right or left to make it bigger or smaller. Any of these work the same way. You can slide on them. So this will separate lines from each other, but I only have one line right now. This is the tracking for the selected character, so that will space it out. So watch this. If I kind of pull on this and slide, you'll see I can condense the letters or spread them out. The one on the left here, kerning anywhere between two letters. So if I just wanted to change the kerning between two letters, I could select two letters and then change that kerning, or even just one and change the kerning of just that one letter like that instead of the whole word. So tracking on the right is the entire word, kerning is individual letters. You can change the height, you can change it to all caps, you can italicize, you can put an underline. All of these things can be done in this box. Okay, I'm going to move this away so you can see a little better. And the next step that you're going to do is when you click on the layer itself, you'll notice that the layer still has a T, but it says DOG, right? So it tells you whatever you typed, so you know what layer it is. This way you don't really have to name it yourself, which is helpful. But what we want to do is kind of bend it and resize it and rotate it. So to do that, we're going to right click on the layer itself, go down and select rasterize. Once we've done that, the next step is to go to Edit and Free Transform. Command T on your keyboard. If you have a PC, it's the Windows key and the letter T. That will allow you to do it. And that's going to put a box around it. Now, once the box is around it, you'll notice I can click and drag it anywhere I'd like. If I go past the corner and click, I can rotate it in any direction. You'll also notice that if you want to warp it, you can right click. You'll see a few options come up. Scale will resize, rotate will turn it, skew, what will that do? It's going to give you this kind of a look. If you use distort, you can individually pull the corner points any which way that you like. If you choose perspective, you can make it look like it's going away from you or kind of coming at you. And the last and most powerful one is the warp. And once you click warp, you're going to see a little grid has been placed across it. There are preset warps at the top right here where it says warp custom. And if you click, there are all of these options for you that you can use. So you could go to arc and then, bend it that way. That could be one way that you work. That's fine. But if you do select warp, I'm going to hit OK to this for a moment. And then I'm going to just do it again just so you could see Edit and Free Transform. Right click, warp. You'll see these boxes and these little bars and dots kind of connecting everything. So you can move these around wherever you'd like and really warp the word completely so you get this interesting look to it. The checkbox up top, or you can hit enter to OK the word, and then you continue with your next word. So again, you click, you type in your word. You can select the word like I told you, go over to your character tab like this. We can bring the letters together if we'd like. We could capitalize them, just giving you a few options here. And then right click on the layer, rasterize, and then in order to warp it, edit and free transform. From there again, you can rotate, you can resize, make bigger or smaller, right click, warp, and then start to pull on the letters to get the look that you really want with this. Okay, so you're not going to overlap letters. You're going to keep them pretty close to each other, but you're not going to overlap them as you go. And you're going to continue for an entire half of the face. You can do the top half, you can do one side of it, but you do not have to do the entire thing, only half. So after you complete all of that, you're going to have a number of layers. All right, and so this is only the first video, but the second video will show you then how to combine everything and how to make the colors pop through. We are going to give you one other option here, which can be helpful. So I'm going to zoom in one more time and just show you option 2. Option 2, if you go over to your toolbar and you click and hold, you'll see a pen tool. And we're going to use the freeform pen tool for this one. So if you click on freeform pen tool, at the top where it has options, you're going to make sure it says path. And then what you can do is you can draw a line wherever you want. So for example, like this, I'm going to click and drag to create a line around his nose here and then down his mustache. Okay. And you'll see when I let go, I have all these little anchor points and line segments connecting all of these individual dots, right? Okay, so what I want to do now is go back to the text tool. And this time I'm going to start with a slightly smaller font size. So I'm going to go to like 12. And I'm going to go near the line. And you'll notice that when I go near this line with the text tool, you'll see a little slash pops up just like this. There's the slash. And when I click on it, you'll see the fake type starts to come in. Right? But then again, I can type in whatever I want. I could also highlight it at this point. I can still use the character slider to change the spacing between the words. I could make it smaller, however you want to kind of do it, you can. And as you continue to type, it will continue to fill the line up, right? So it's a nice way of kind of following a path, makes that part a little easier. You can still, once you okay it, you can still go to the layer, right click, rasterize, and you can still do edit and free transform. Right click, warp, and now you still have full control, over it and you can move it and get it just the way you want. And then you continue and continue and continue. Okay, so those are your two options for a part one of this, to do half the face. In the next video, we're going to show how to make the colors from the original pop through.